Hello and welcome to the ACE webinar series, What is the Built Environment? Presented by ACE Baltimore and Build Your Path, a program of MCCEI. My name is Kimberly Haar and I'm going to be guiding you through today's session. I am the Strategic Partnerships Manager for MCCEI as well as the Affiliate Director for the ACE Mentor Program of Baltimore. For today's agenda, we're going to be covering a wide variety of topics, including a general overview of the built environment, more specific breakdowns of the industry sectors that make up the built environment industry, as well as Build Your Path resources to continue exploring your wide range of opportunities and additional next steps. So what is the built environment? The definition of the built environment is any man-made structure, feature, and facility viewed collectively as an environment in which people live and work. So what does that mean? The house you live in or the apartment you live in, the roads you drive on, the grocery stores and restaurants you go for food, and even your school are all due to the built environment. Often when we think about what it takes to get a structure built, we only think of the contractors or the people managing and physically building the job. But in fact, it takes a great number of people to bring these structures to life. Some of those include architects and engineers, which we'll go into more detail on later. The built environment can be broken down further into both commercial and residential construction. Commercial construction is building for commercial purposes. Stores, offices, schools, hospitals, and sports venues are all examples of commercial construction. Residential construction focuses on buildings that people live in. Homes, apartments, and housing complexes are all forms of residential construction. Today, we're going to be talking about the built environment industry from the perspective of residential construction, or how we would go about building a home. In that, we're going to discuss the three main industry sectors that we mentioned before: architecture, engineering, and construction or contractors. So say we decided we were going to build a home. The first person that we would hire to build the house is the architect. Architects develop the design concept for the construction of the home. Although visual aesthetics are an important component of the work of an architect, architects must create designs that are functional as well as compliant with building laws and regulations. Architects have a complex role in the construction process and are involved from beginning to end. Some of their responsibilities include understanding the client's requirements and translating them into design drawings and models, quantifying and qualifying the project, for example, the budget, site characteristics, and regulations, developing a sequence of operations and keeping records for daily progress or budget reports, managing the bidding process when contractors bid on the job, clarifying details for engineering and construction teams, and making changes to the plans per their recommendations, and certifying that the work is completed in a prescribed manner. We mentioned the role of an overall architect, but there are different forms of architects as well. For instance, an interior designer focuses on the finishings inside of a home, whereas a landscape architect focuses on those outside. So once we work with an architect, we're going to hire an engineer. Engineers are partners on the design team with the architect. Engineers design the systems inside the house, such as power, lighting, plumbing, structural work like framing and foundation, and the heating and air conditioning systems. Responsibilities of an engineer includes conducting feasibility studies and site inspections, developing project budgets for their specific work, designing the complex systems within a structure, such as those power and heating and cooling systems, ensuring compliance with government regulations, and clarifying details for the various construction teams. So as we mentioned, there's a wide variety of components within a house that an engineer might work on. And with that, there are multiple different types of engineers. One type of engineer is a civil engineer. While they might not be on a house project, they work more in the commercial setting as they are responsible for the design and construction of public works, such as dams, bridges, and other large infrastructure projects. An electrical engineer designs, develops, and tests the manufacturing of electrical equipment. Environmental engineers is the branch of engineering that focuses on protecting the environment by reducing waste and pollution. Mechanical engineers design power-producing machines, and in the built environment, they often design machines such as refrigeration and air conditioning systems. Structural engineering is a sub-discipline of civil engineering, in which structural engineers are trained to design the bones and muscles that create the form and shape of man-made structures. So once the drawings are complete, along come the contractors. Contractors are normally broken down into two groups: construction management, or the general contractors, and the skilled trades, or subcontractors. As part of the team of AEC professionals, construction project managers coordinate the work of skilled contractors and subcontractors. Typically, a member of the construction management team has a college degree, usually in construction management, civil engineering, or a similar field of study. But alternatively, individuals who work in the skilled trades often move into construction management roles after years of field experience. The construction management team has many responsibilities, including working with architects and engineers to develop plans, establish timetables, and determine costs. They hire and manage the subcontractors and employees. They ensure that all the work completed is up to code. They distribute resources and ensure the contractors follow plans and specifications. They manage relationships among the AEC industry professionals and with clients. They create checkpoints or benchmarks as part of overall time management, and they identify potential internal risks, such as an unrealistic scheduling commitment, and external risks, such as a natural disaster, to create contingency plans. A construction management team is made up of many individuals. One being a project manager. The project manager on the job oversees the planning, design, and construction of the project from its beginning to end. A pre-construction manager oversees the job before construction starts, including the estimation and bidding process. A cost estimator is generally responsible for estimating work of a particular project. They would estimate this work by gathering proposals, blueprints, specifications, and other related documents. A superintendent is on the job site at all times and is responsible for managing the various skilled trades or subcontractors. A virtual design and construction manager, also known as the VDC manager, works in pre-construction to coordinate the 3D model supplied by the architect with the plans needed for the subcontractors. And while safety is everyone's responsibility, the safety manager is responsible for inspecting the site to reduce the risk of accidents. The skilled trades, or sometimes referred to as the subcontractors, are the men and women who perform all of the work necessary to physically build the building. Their responsibilities include reading plans and scoping out work for their specific trade, estimating their portion of the work, following the plans and schedules, distributing resources, create shop drawings, and installing their work according to the plans and specifications. Some examples of skilled trade workers are concrete workers that lay the foundation of a building, carpenters that build items such as the structural framework and the cabinets, doors, and hardware, bricklayers and roofers that work to enclose the building, electricians that install the power systems and lights, mechanical or HVAC contractors that install the heating and air conditioning systems, plumbers who install the toilets, sinks, tubs, and all of the pipes that lead to them, insulators that come behind the plumbers and protect the building, its pipes, and its ductwork, glaziers to install the windows and other glass finishings, drywall contractors to install the walls, and the finishing trades do things like paint, carpet, tile, and flooring. So now that we know who it takes to build a home, we're going to see that construction in action. Now keep in mind that with this video, the designs have already been created by the design team, both the architects and the various engineers. In addition, while this is an impressive build, we do recognize that the contractors in this video are not taking the proper safety precautions. We would advise that construction management team to hire a safety manager. So as you can see, they're starting from zero. They're laying the foundation to start building the home. The carpenters here are working to install the framing of the home. You can see the roofers are coming in and laying the roofing shingles. And as you can see here, the seasons are changing. On TV, it often looks like a house can be built in a week or a month. But in reality, a home, specifically this extravagant build of a home, would take well over a year to build. The insulators here are installing. And as you can see, this is, as I said, an extravagant home. So there are much more specialty trades that are involved to put these extra finishings in place. Now the landscape architects likely designed this hardscape, and they're working on setting the landscape features. And as I mentioned, likely well over a year later, the home is complete. So as you can see, there are a wide variety of opportunities to get involved in the built environment, and I hope today's presentation excited you. But in order to find more about these various paths, we wanted you to utilize Build Your Path. So I'm going to pass it over to my colleague, Matt, to explain more about those resources.
Sure. Thanks, Kim. Appreciate it. My name is Matthew Pine, and I'm the Communications Coordinator here at MCCEI, in charge of marketing and the websites. Here today to talk a little bit about Build Your Path. Alrighty. So as you can see now on my screen here, Build Your Path Online. Really, this is meant to be a resource for Mid-Atlantic built environment careers. As you can see here over the tiled career highlights, we have various jobs in the built environment. Some are in the trades, some require a degree with a four-year university. Let's take a look here first at the construction manager. So these pages are really meant to highlight the career. They'll tell you a little bit about the job, what you can expect to do in the career, as well as the path to get there. If you scroll all the way at the bottom here, you'll find types of managers. For instance, this would include project managers, superintendents, or cost estimators, the necessary skills you want to attain, and what you can expect for an average starting salary. And at the top of every page, you can get a little bit of an insight into the on the job feel, some more of a hands-on look. All right, so in addition to the Build Your Path online platform, we also have the Build Your Path magazine. This comes out every 2 years. It's a really great resource guidebook to the different careers in the built environment. So let's take a look at the latest version of Volume 3. All right, so just flipping through here, we can see, there's a table of contents along with the Pathways page. The Pathways page is a great tool. It can show you how you can start out with a high school degree and make your way all the way up to a business owner. If you choose to go to the trades route, you can see exactly the steps you'll need to take. Conversely, if you want to go into higher education, maybe a community college or a university, you can see that pathway as well. So on the next page, we'll see the quick reference guide, especially for the state of Maryland. This will show you the construction design and management pathway. Depending on the career that you're looking for, whether you'll need to complete an apprenticeship or whether you will need that university, that college diploma. And on the next page, so you do want to go into the trades route, you're looking at an apprenticeship. This will tell you, how long it takes, if there are accelerated programs, what the requirements might be, what you can expect to get paid, along with how do I apply, what fees may be involved. So it's a great resource as well. And then on the next page, we'll also take a look here at the high school programs. If you're looking into engineering as a potential pathway, Project Lead the Way is a great high school program for that. Also featured is MCCEI, Skills USA for more of a trades pathway, along with ACE Mentor. And then the main highlight and the main feature of these magazines are the highlights for the careers, just like Build Your Path Online. Taking a look here at Architect, if you want to zero in on the box with the quick facts, what you can expect for an average salary, the education level you'll need, and the important skills to have. And say you're not interested in, maybe attaining a college degree, going into one of the trades, you can look at a carpenter, for example, get the same quick facts. All right, so let's take a look here at some more resources that Build Your Path has to offer. These podcasts we recently launched in March of this year, and I personally host these. So with our first guest, we had Stacey Hulsinger. Stacey is known as a professional in the construction industry. She is not necessarily on site, but she is involved in the marketing for the firm. If you're a professional, you may do marketing, you may do legal, you may do IT, definitely a bevy of options in the field. We also had Doug Handy on. Doug, gave the educational perspective. Most of these podcasts are done with industry professionals, but he gives a great perspective being the CTE director from Baltimore County Public Schools. Kelly Ennis also came on. She's an interior architect. Really looks at the inside of the buildings rather than the outside, which is what normal architects might do. Especially with the ongoing pandemic, it's necessary to look at potentially retrofitting office buildings to make sure that everyone is safe. We had Paul Say on. Paul is a senior project manager. He has a really interesting story that could connect with you all. Really didn't have a lot of direction coming up in his life, but he found that a high school guidance counselor really put him on the right pathway. Brandon Mothershead also has a great story to connect with students. He's the acting site manager with Harkins Builders, and in 12 years of experience, he talks a lot about his pathway to getting to where he is now. And then finally, our latest podcast features Stephanie Mcshane. She started out in the trades. She started out as an electrician, then moved into cost estimating, and she now works as a consultant, going around to a bunch of different construction firms, giving her insight. Definitely would recommend these podcasts. They're a great tool to use if you want to learn more, especially from real life industry professionals, and in Doug's case, an educator. A really great tool. And then another resource here to offer are our videos. So through this presentation, we've learned what is the built environment. We also have a video to accompany this. Also another video on women in construction. And then our third video is about becoming an HVAC technician. Gives you a really good insight. We actually go on site to a firm. And if you're interested in pursuing that, I would definitely recommend this video. We're always adding podcasts. Podcasts come the first of every month, so that's on a monthly basis. And the videos, we're always churning them out, so be on the lookout for that. Some more resources that we offer, our job board. So say you're not necessarily ready to enter the workforce just yet, you can still look at the job board. The job board's going to give you a few examples of what jobs are out there, what you could be looking for. We have a few to feature right now, such as a mechanical engineer, a carpenter, a program manager, another great tool to utilize. And then lastly, let's take a look here at our education map. This is especially helpful for students seeking opportunities in their area. So you can filter this by your zip code or by your address. This is Maryland based. So no matter where you are in Maryland, you can see what opportunities are out there. Say you're a little bit younger and you want to look at some of the high school CTE programs that are offered. You can come on here, filter by that. Say you're in the Bel Air area and you're looking at C. Moulton Wright High School. You can see their contact information along with the available programs they have, which is pre-engineering. And then say you're in high school and you're already looking at schools. Maybe you don't want to go the apprenticeship route, and you're looking at 2-year or 4-year universities. You can filter here by community college and 4-year college, or say you do want to go the apprenticeship route, you can filter by the apprenticeships as well. So we definitely recommend this tool. If you're looking for any career opportunities and you really don't know where to look, this is kind of that one-stop shop for you. And then lastly, I would like to highlight a few of our social media channels. Like I mentioned with our podcasts and our videos, they are all housed on our YouTube channel. So if you just go on YouTube and you just search Build Your Path, you should be able to find them. And our podcasts are also available on Spotify and iTunes, anywhere you would get podcasts. And then also our Instagram channel, same handle, Build Your Path, at Build Your Path. We're actually celebrating Careers in Construction Month this month, which is October. So there's tons of opportunities in the built environment, tons of different careers that you might not even think of. If you want to come to our Instagram and follow us, we're always putting out new content. All right, I'll pass it back over to Kim.
Thank you, Matt. I'm going to share my screen again, talk about another next step that you can take. So you all are here because you attended or registered for the ACE webinar series. If you have not done so, please go and check out the other webinars that we are having. You can register for as many as you'd like at one time. Next week, we will be holding our What is Architecture, as well as What is Construction Management. So the format for today's session was really focused on giving a general overview of the built environment, but all of our future sessions will be hearing from industry professionals themselves. So what they do on a daily basis, how they got there, and what they look for when hiring new employees. So you get really a taste into what working in the construction industry is like. We'll also have some next step opportunities, such as information on college pathways in Maryland, as well as scholarships that you should be looking out for, and skilled trades and apprenticeship programs. So as I mentioned, all the information at acebaltimore.org/program. Our last session for our 10-part webinar series will be What is the ACE Mentor Program? Many of you have registered because you are a part of ACE, though I know we had some who are not. While ACE is not offered at every single school, if your school does have an ACE program, it is important that you check out this webinar so we talk a little bit about the changes that are happening this year and moving virtual. Other than that, please do contact Matt or myself for any questions as it relates to Build Your Path, the ACE Mentor Program, or our upcoming webinar series. And thank you so much for attending.